Hey yo, this is Dash, and I'm in my kitchen once again. As you can see by the title, today I'm going to be cutting up a brisket. I have a catering job to take care of, and I'm going to show you how I cut up my briskets for catering jobs. How to trim a brisket. Basically, this isn't trimming it, this is going to be breaking it down for service. So set you up on a tripod, explain a couple things to you, and let's get this done. Okay, so here we have a whole brisket. This is a whole brisket. This brisket was about 15 pounds when cooked. After cooking the brisket, it'll probably be about 55 to 60% of the original weight. So guessing off the top of my head, this is probably like 7.5, 8 pounds of cooked meat here. Okay, so now at this point, I'm going to show you what I do. First things first though, I guess I should show you, I use two of these. This is, I believe, a 12-inch, and this is a 12-inch serrated slicing knife. It is a lasting cut, and the model number is 32761. And then recently I picked up another one of these lasting cut knives. This one is model 32758. And this one is just a straight, slicing knife. There's no serration and no scallops. I believe the next one I might pick up might be a scallop blade similar to this. So you're asking yourself, why do I have two knives? Well, the knives serve different purposes. One slices the point better and one slices the flat better. So again, let's just talk about what we have here. This portion up here is the point of the brisket. This is the fatty side. This down here is the flat. You'll see some people come and slice right across here. I don't do that. I actually separate the point from the flat, totally. Now, one of the things that people ask me all the time is, how do you know how to separate one from the other? I can tell you that over time, and it's just going to take time, but you can feel where the fat comes in. There's just a little bit of a crust here, but on this back side, I can feel. Kind of hard to show you, but let's see if I can turn this around. Right in here, okay, and right here is the difference between the two muscles. Now again, there's fat here, and there's fat that comes this way, and this is the flat. The flat runs this way, and the point runs this way. So in between the two muscles is fat. That's where we're going to cut the two apart. So right in here, I can feel that this is fat, and I'm going to come on the other side and try to find the same bit of fat, and I'll get under it. And what I'll do is I'll come, because it's going to be easier for me to do it from this side. Stay still, brisket. I'm just going to send my knife straight through. Alright, and then I'm going to come top side. Now, what I'm going to do is take my knife and point it in the other direction, and I'm just going to go backwards. And unfortunately, there's no real way to explain this other than feeling. Alright, now the two pieces are separated. And I want you to see now, as you can see, this is all fat and this is all fat. Okay, so we're not sacrificing much, if any, of the meat. There's a little bit there. This is some of the point, but the point comes up and then it drops off in the back. So if I cut it that way, it's fine. So there's some fat. I will cut that out. Now what I'm going to do with the point is take it, set it off to the side. I'll deal with that in a second. Next thing I usually do, and I'm going to switch knives. Next thing I usually do is come across here just to take some of this fat off and out. Depending on who I'm cooking for, I'll leave that on. This is some fat down in here. Cut that out. This fat over here, cut that out, and come in here and trim some of this up and out too. Now this brisket is actually room temperature. I had some other things to do and I wasn't able to get to it as fast as I wanted to, but for demonstration purposes, you get the idea. Now, what you just saw me do was flip the flat over. This is going to be the prettier side, unfortunately, of the brisket of the flat because of the seasoning on the outside. Plus, nobody really just wants to look at a bunch of unseasoned fat, or from the inside. Now, one of the things that might be kind of difficult to convey on camera, but the grain of the meat is running just like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut parallel to that, and cutting parallel to that means I'm going to be cutting it on an angle this way. Okay. So watch what I do now. I'm going to turn the brisket slightly so that again I can get perpendicular to the grain, and then we're just going to do small slices. Now if this brisket were a little warmer, this wouldn't be as tough. But have to do what you have to do. These are roughly 1/4 inch slices here, and I think I did okay with my smoke ring. All right. Okay, so now that I'm finished slicing against the grain, what I will do is usually I'll cut this into thirds if it's big enough. This one, this brisket was rather long and not wide, so I'm probably just gonna cut this in half. Okay, it'll make it easier for well, the smaller you cut the pieces, the longer or the more the brisket will stretch for your customer. And but usually what I'll do at this point is, again, I would cut it into into thirds, just so it can fit on like those Hawaiian rolls, or like slider buns. Now if I was going to be doing an event, like trying to sell food or vend, I would cut it in half so that it could fit on a burger bun a little better. But now I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna come and this way, straight in half here, and that'll be it for the flat. Now, one of the things that isn't quite advertised with these knives is the ability to pick up your food. And it might not get the whole thing because it's a little long, but there you go. Alright, so back at it. This is the point. And again, let me turn this over so you can kind of see what's going on here. This is the decal, the piece of the brisket that doesn't really do much of anything and it won't render out. So I'm going to come in here and slice a good deal of that out. So now you can see where we have more meat here, and I won't have to worry about trimming around this. I won't have to worry about trimming around that when I slice. So I'm going to come in and get this from this way too. Now if you're doing this for yourself, if you're cooking the brisket for yourself, you might actually want to keep that in there. But I know that my customer does not want that, so I'm going to trim a good deal of it out. Now, the next step is, so I told you the point runs this way, excuse me, the flat, which I just cut up, the grain of the muscle runs this way, so we slice it against the grain. Well, the grain in the point runs this way, so again, we're going to slice it against the grain. Watch what I'm going to do and show you how I get it to the point where we slice it against the grain. In the point, in the flat, the other piece, we cut that across the whole muscle like this, right? In the point, we're not going to do that. We're going to cut it up into smaller pieces. So again, let me get this started. First thing I'm going to do is square this up, okay? And usually that tip has a good deal of fat on it. And again, you know, like I said, I just wanted to square up the brisket or the point here to make it easier for slicing. This part usually stays with me. Okay, now the serrated edge is a little better for cutting up the point because there's fat on top, and that fat it doesn't cut very well with the with that flat knife there. Okay, so now I've gone ahead and I've sliced the brisket the short way. Now I'm going to cut it the long way, but because I cut it into 3 different pieces, it'll be a little better. And then just going to come in here and now what you can't see, and I kind of turn it around, is how my thumb is. What I'm doing is I'm kind of keeping my thumb back where, or right behind the slice, so that when I pull this out, I don't have a blowout. This piece of meat doesn't just fall apart. So you have to be very careful that you don't have your thumb in the path of the blade. Ask me how I know. Okay. Be careful that you don't have your thumb in the path of the blade, because you can and possibly will cut a piece or part or all of your tip of your thumb off. Again, ask me how I know. Alright, so I'm holding the brisket. The point is a little more, because it's more fat in the point is way more tender, and it comes apart way easier. So I have a good grip on it, and again, I'm just gonna slice down and through. Now I'm hoping I made that look easy, and there you have it. So thanks again as always for watching. If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe. Stick around to the end of the video for some other videos I've done in the past. And thanks again as always for watching. See y'all next time.